This is Lauren with TMF Apparel. Now, I posted a video about a DTF hack that people keep posting on TikTok, YouTube. I've seen some on Facebook, not as much on Facebook. So we're going to put it to the test. And that DTF hack, as I call a hack job, is using your regular inkjet printer with inkjet ink, putting powder on it, and pressing it on a shirt. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying you cannot do this on dark garments because there's no white ink channel in the inkjet printer. So, that being said, it's going to be only color. We're going to press it on a white. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, I only have one that prints on regular size paper, so I'm going to cut a piece of DTF film. I'm going to put it in there, and we're going to print just a straight color image on it, powder it, cure it, and then press it on a white cotton piece of fabric. All right, so I've chosen this image right here. It's in Photoshop. We're just going to print it. It doesn't really matter if it's reversed or not, so I'm just going to print it straight from Photoshop to my Epson 7720. Little piece on there. It's going to be maybe 6x6, and then we're going to powder it, we're going to cure it, and we're going to watch it fail. All right, here it goes. I hear it gearing up. We're going to watch it print. So, I did tape it to a piece of regular paper so it would feed it. Here we go. Boink. All right, there's our print, our image. We're going to take it straight over. We're going to powder it. Let me rip it off of this thing right here. All right, so you can see it's in my powder. Here we go. Bear with me for a second. I'm trying to do this one-handed. All right, so there we go. We have our inkjet ink image. Whoa, there it is. Printed. I'll say it's really not that vivid. Now I'm going to go do is we're going to go stick it in the oven. I don't have my heat press on, so we're just going to bake it in there. And then I'm going to pull it out, we'll look at it, and we'll press it on something. So I got it set at like 350, but we don't need to leave it in there too long because it's on a hot tray. We're going to see. Give it a few minutes to cool down. There's also no white ink, so whenever you don't have white ink on something, the powder tends to cure up pretty quick. All right, I've got it right here. It's cured up, out of the oven. Realized I didn't have my heat press on, so I might just press it with an iron, but I heat that heat press up. It's going to take a hot minute. I'm going to wait for that. All right, so I don't have to wait for this thing to heat up forever. I'm just going to put it on an iron because it gets hot enough. And I've got my transfer, and I have my piece of white cotton t-shirt. And just to be sure we're all fair, I'm going to go ahead and, oof, this thing's kind of dirty. Yeah. Undo that. That's my bad. That's some crap on my iron. I haven't cleaned off because I don't really use it for this application. It's all good though, right? So, go ahead and just make sure that the garment's nice and warm. Iron is quite hot. We're going to take it, we're going to place it on there. And like I said, it's definitely not that vivid, for sure, but we're going to stick it on this piece of white fabric. This thing's fully heated up. We're going to press it and iron it on there. Now, normally I would press DTF about 8 to 10 seconds. I'm just going to slowly kind of move it across it because honestly, it's not going to work anyway. It's probably going to fail. This ink doesn't really have the binder required to stick to the glue adhesive. Okay, so we're just going to be fair. Decent pressure. This is like if you had one of those little Cricut pressers instead of an actual heat press. I just didn't have anything to press today, but I wanted to make this video. So, there we go. Now, you can see there's our image right there. This cat. I'm going to let it cool off, and then we're going to peel it. We're going to peel it in real time. I'm not even going to stop the video. I'm just going to carry over here so that we can see what happens. Now, you're going to have to wash anything that you test. You should probably wash it. I don't want to go through all that right now, but let's just see what this looks like when I peel it off of this paper, and then we'll do a follow-up after some washes. So, it's pretty cool touching it. Let's peel it off. Okay, now, right away we have some ink a little bit stuck on here, some color. You're not supposed to have that, but you do, and that could just be from pressing it. I mean, whatever. But this is our image right here. on white cotton right there. So, what do I think? I think that it's on there. Do I think it'll stay on there? Absolutely not. I think after one wash, it will be pretty much about gone. So, like and subscribe to this video, and we'll follow up with it after I have something to wash, and I'll throw it in there. You can actually wash DTF without really having to cure it. I'm going to go over this one more time just so it's fair, because I always double press all of my DTFs. So, just to make sure it's even Steven, and we could just take it upstairs and wash it. We could wash it in the sink or something, just to make it fair as fair. Alright, so, what I will say is, well, hell, half the image is gone right there. Half of it, but it's definitely don't look great. We're going to iron it one more time. It's looking worse the more we go over it, and the more we handle it, the worse it gets. We're going to do this one more time. Why don't we? Okay. Yeah. So, doesn't look amazing. We can see right here. We've lost some detail, some graininess. If you were going for like a really vintage old, I found it in the street kind of look, this is definitely your speed. But I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's walk upstairs. Let's go give it a wash in some water and just see how bad it gets. I bet it gets pretty bad. All right, so we're going to use this regular sink. I'm probably not going to put soap on it. We're just going to wash it. All right, so I just washed it by hand. It's still wet, but you can tell already it's definitely faded. Some of the detail's gone. A lot of the color is gone. I was just going to heat it up and dry it, but I don't really think there's much of a reason to do that. What this is going to show you is that DTF and HTV and sublimation, these companies spend a lot of money to make products and to make equipment so that this doesn't happen. So when someone says, oh, you can just easily DTF hack it, you can just print on direct to film and powder it and press it and it'll be fine. That's not true. You can do it. You can. If you want your end result to be a hot mess, you certainly can do it. Would I recommend it? Absolutely not. Now, if you want to use an inkjet printer, you need to print on inkjet transfers. And honestly, they don't hold up that great either. I've done inkjet transfers, sublimation transfers, easy subli, HTV, printable HTV, DTF, DTG, and I've screen printed stuff. So pretty much any way that you can decorate a garment, at some point I've done it. Now, if you're okay with this, knock yourself out. Go buy you some DTF film, buy you some powder, print it and send it. I, however, would highly recommend that you do not do this. Highly recommend. If you want to print DTF, get a DTF printer. The ink is different. The software is different, right? You can't up your color saturation on Photoshop to compensate for the amount of ink laid down by your printer, like you can in RIP software, right? So we're not really doing it the right way. You guys are just out here trying to join the club without spending the money to buy the equipment. So that'd be like saying, I like to learn how to weld. Instead of buying a welder, I'm just going to take 2 jumper cables and hook them to a battery and try to arc it. Yeah, it'll do something, but it ain't no welder. So follow me, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later.